representative of Korean face masks that you can actually take and clone for for your own fun. If you just use a mouse, you can actually just take some of these face masks and clone them. But it was really my way of just kind of showing how whiteness tends to cherry pick and appropriate a lot of these different, or choose essentially what parts of Asian cultures that are, being celebrated. And when it comes to products like Hey Beauty face masks, or just the amount of kawaii and Hello Kitty and other themes that are very much popular within Asian cultures. Just these are the ones that I specifically chose as ways to showcase how these specific brands and Asian products are very much, utilized and celebrated in a lot of Western cultures, but how a lot of the maybe representation of Asian roles and stories and voices are not just as inclusive or correct in that case. So yeah, you can, pick up one of these face masks and kind of just throw it around and ask me any questions about any of these renders that you see, or scenes from these different films or television series, or just any of the choices in the different 3D models or textures. Feel free to ask me any questions. I'm an open book.
Well done, Leah, because it's a lot of work. I mean, this venue, really.
It's been a lot of work, more so just on, my identity and growth as just somebody who now is clearly an adult and aware of all these different, or how these microaggressions can culminate into some just adversity when it comes to people of color really accepting and embracing themselves as people who live in America and maybe are perceived differently than a lot of white folks are. So this is kind of just my way to share that journey of just how I grew up watching a lot of these films and were very much heavily influenced by some of these overtly racist depictions, and just kind of how I have now come to this place in my life, knowing, or at least having the context to know how that has shaped my relationship with my self-identity. And this is just my response to that. So yeah, and I found that, this time is really a very important and significant just time in just from the recent or the rise of a lot of these hate crimes towards Asian communities. So this being something that I have wanted to create and share, and really, open my or be vulnerable by really sharing a lot of these very just my own personal journey, because I hope that it resonates with people who also are coming from just other marginalized communities, and just letting people know that they're not alone, that there's definitely a lot of work that needs to be done.
Is there any other person that is kind of from mixed race, or from two different cultures that experience this kind of same otherness in America, or in your experience? would like to share with us if you you experience yourself the same kind of microaggression or
So
um,
for mixed for biracial folks or for
so sorry. I mean, if yes, if you are born in a certain country and then you are referred as or not, or you are colored, and then you are referred as, I mean, foreigner. So, did anyone? Does anyone understand what well, how this might be kind of challenging, or have you experienced yourself this kind of challenge in your own identity?
mm, yeah, I mean, I am also curious if there are other right people in the room who do have experience, maybe.
I mean, totally. As an Asian American person myself, I feel like, this space really resonates with me. I feel like a lot of people don't notice these racist depictions when they watch it and when they grow up, but I think that, as an Asian American, you remember these moments in movies, and they really hurt. So I think it's great to just kind of have a space to just think about that and meditate on these moments that we've all seen.
Mhm.
Mm,
Thank you, Sue. Yes, I must say as well, as a Belgian Korean, I must say that the project from Leah was really talking to me because it's something that happened possibly similarly everywhere. That people are confused by the way we look outside, but yes, and there's always this kind of white supremacy and colonialism overlook. Or well, anyway, this space is really fantastic. Who
yeah.
is crying?
Yeah, I yeah, very much wanted to share how this was specifically my personal journey and evolution as somebody who grew up, who very much had my experience where I was born in Los Angeles and not like I wasn't a first generation immigrant. My parents were. And I know that I would have a completely different experience, or my specific relationship is towards these specific American pop culture films. So the ways that I am talking about just the importance of inclusion is me specifically talking about iconic or just popular films that have been produced in Hollywood rather than your Korean dramas or other media or pop culture from other non-white countries. So this is definitely an experience where just I growing up as somebody who clearly was one of the few Asian people within my navigating these white spaces. That's was something very specific to me, and I know that yeah, for people who are are coming from different backgrounds, if they immigrated here or grew up in other different areas, I know that me growing up in Los Angeles definitely had an impact as to why I specifically chose these films or was so obsessed with just Hollywood and watching everything, every rom com that came out, and really just at a point like idolizing a lot of these relationships that I would be seeing on the screen, all very much, white relationships or friendships, and really wanting to be a part of that, and not having been able to see myself or people who looked like me being represented in a way that I felt, oh, this is actually, something that I can relate to. But I know that that is different, especially for you, Mimi, growing up in Europe or just in other areas that maybe people who do identify as Asian American would definitely have different experiences. And I also know that this is something that is particularly specific to East Asian cultures, and not just, you know, this large umbrella of Asian American, which definitely, coalesces a lot of different types of ethnicities and identities. So this is very much specifically to my upbringing as a Korean American woman. But yeah, I mean, if anyone has questions or also loves to or has any just comments or thoughts, maybe similar experiences or completely different experiences that they also would like to share, just because I, you know, would want this environment or this project to be something that people can hopefully, I don't know, have somewhat resonate with, for people who maybe come from marginalized communities where they struggled with seeing themselves being represented fully on the big screen. Everybody has any questions? I decided to put, just to be explaining a little more of kind of just these little renders that I have here of myself on these painting scrolls, just to showcase a lot of the different tropes that are always projected onto Asian or East Asian women. You know, the dragon lady, which is very much, you know, the Asian woman, Asian ninja who is going to be, you know, bringing out her sword, and more so of this like villainous ninja woman, to the lotus blossom trope that is very much like a memoirs of a geisha type of, you know, very docile, submissive geisha essentially, and the Harajuku girl who, yes, is, you know, of the more recent tropes of that we see in, you know, how Gwen Stefani had used it, which is why I included her music in with this experience where we're just always obsessed with, you know, all things kawaii, anime, etc. So these were specifically some of the stereotypes that I, as an Asian American woman, have definitely had either projected onto me or feel like people expect that of me, especially, you know, when you're just meeting people who don't really know you, your background, and already have a lot of these assumptions when they first just see you based off of your appearance.
You definitely went with your avatar, like on the image on the right side.
Oh, my current avatar now?
Yes.
Yes. I did have her, I did want to create like a, hanbok, which is a traditional Korean dress, to place that as my avatar.
You're pretty close. You're pretty close.
Yes, yeah.
And that is something.
What?
I'm jealous of your handbook.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know, I'll make a whole line of just these different avatars, all the different colors of handboks.
So you did succeed to customize the avatar? Did you create that yourself? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. This is just a skin to put on one of the default Mozilla Hubs avatars.
Yeah, I never had the courage to go down that route. But yeah, well done for that.
Yeah, no, it's a lot easier than it's very easy. If you just have, you know, an image that you want to be placing on your avatar's body, yeah, you just, you know, upload that skin onto Hubs, and it should really, yeah, just easily be mapped onto your avatar's body. But I definitely had a lot of different iterations of my avatar.
Yeah, it requires some iteration. I think we tried to change the model, but yeah, coming up with a different 3D model was a bit more difficult.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of great variety with the avatar tools that are available that I am seeing. So I also love all of the creativity in the avatar selection.
So how did you? I mean, you did use a lot of the features of Hubs. I mean, how did you find I mean, how easy did you find the tools of Hubs and Spoke? Or how was that journey for you to use these tools to communicate all this?
This definitely was a difference, I would say, as somebody who works more so with other game engines. Definitely the optimization process was slightly more just time consuming because you really have to, you know, make sure that everything is, or maybe compromise on some of the visual quality of, you know, your models and your textures. So I think that was probably my biggest challenge. But I do think that a project like this, I really want it to kind of just exist in the virtual world for however long Firefox exists, I guess, to have it be very accessible and something that people can see, you know, anywhere in the world at any point, and just have it kind of live here and have it be free, accessible, something that you don't need to have with a headset. So I appreciate Hubs for its just ability to have so many online users be able to join and interact with.
It is very accessible. So do you have a headset? Did you try your world in a headset?
I do have a headset, but I have not actually used it yet within this space, mostly because I have just been really needing to kind of update my older Vive, because I have essentially one of the first HTC Vives that was out, so it definitely needs.
Yeah, same here. I can't use it actually. I have one of the lighthouse who's broken. But yeah, I've tried this world on the Quest. I mean, it is very powerful in VR. It's yeah, pretty powerful, pretty colorful to be completely immersed in the space. It's worth the try.
Amazing. Yes. I mean, I would love to have control over hands, heads, and have it just be a lot more of a, you know, seamless and visceral reaction instead of having to really navigate with my mouse or key.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah, definitely more visceral. I think that's a good word.
Yes. Yeah, I definitely will at some point be immersing myself actually with my VR technology with this space, and appreciate the fact that that is an option, and for those who don't have access to the VR equipment to also be able to join, because I know that there are a majority of folks who maybe don't want to be spent or having the means to use that the headset.
No, but cool. Yeah. I mean, well done for this. I think this is great, and I mean, so in a way, it's still also a very easy tool that we can use to you know, to create this world and then invite people in there. I mean, it's pretty extraordinary to have these hubs so easily accessible, and you can pretty much create a world and invite people in it, isn't it?
Definitely. Yeah. I am very much familiarizing myself and wanting, I guess, just like with social VR, more so as a way to use just as a creative outlet, and just ways that we can be inviting people for just like social and cultural engagement through these different social VR platforms. And in my experience, utilizing the other social VR platforms, Hubs really allows us to have a lot more creative control over our worlds and environments that we are building, and not something that is, like the Facebook horizon or these other social VR platforms that I, yes, love Hubs for the accessibility reasons, despite maybe some of the challenges with the optimization.
Yeah, definitely.
Well done. Congratulations. Because I know you work a lot, and it's as well a kind of possibly very sensitive project. Or yes, very personal. So well done. I don't know what number is. Yes, type 3 to clap for Leah. Well done.
Type 3, yeah, there we go.
Yes, that's.
Well, that's cool. There is we have 10 people in the space. This is pretty cool.
Yes, Leah's got a lot of followers.
I know. I also realized that, yeah, unfortunately, a link that does not entirely work on my social media platform. So hopefully that was not entirely too confusing for people, and especially for those who have not, because I think a lot of folks who maybe know me as more so of a VR artist might not think that they would have the tools to be able to access like a web-based VR platform. But hopefully to
okay. On the
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, you say, yeah, join me there, but people don't come because they think they need a headset. Yeah, you need to be very specific, telling no, you can join on the browser.
Right,
Yeah.
right. On a browser, and then hopefully, because I posted the link on social platforms, that on a browser, but not on their phone, because I know that Hubs can be compatible with mobile devices, but I do believe this experience cannot, because it is definitely over the maximum amount of polygons.
Let me try.
Mobile compatibility. Yeah, please let me know, because I would assume that maybe it would definitely be challenging.
How much? What's the weight? Do you know how much? What's the weight? I'm sorry, I'm being technical. I don't want to
Oh, no, definitely, like I would say maybe 80 megabytes.
Nice. You're pushing.
I know that maybe the maximum was supposed to be at 50. So
Yeah, that's all right though. I think it's
compatible with phones. So that's definitely another optimization that I will eventually need to integrate somehow. But yeah, I mean, for folks, please feel free to, interact, chat, ask me any questions about specifically any of these scenes, films, movies. I'm sure because Mimi and I have discussed how a lot of this will be something that is possibly, just like a work in progress as just more content is being produced. And I have, on the other side of the hallway, kind of the just other movies that have been developed more recently, and I do eventually want to be, creating renders for those. There were just a lot of different examples that I couldn't integrate or include in this specific experience, but I assume as years to come and more of this content is being, produced and yeah, seen in these media outlets, I will have more work to include. So this is definitely an ongoing project.
Yes, as your experience may evolve as well. Yeah.
Right. Definitely. Yes.
Well,
yeah, and seeing just how.
Yeah,
I had nothing to say.
don't worry. Let's go and visit all the movies that you picked. Yes, I mean this was as well. I mean loads of work. Incredible. Yeah. Well done, Leah. Frankly.
Thank you.
It works on the phone.
What were you saying? Oh, I should take a tour.
Works pretty well.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you want to take a tour of the movies, these are specifically ones that, again, like I had a personal relationship with. I know that there's a lot of other examples that have some, wrong, maybe just like both overt and covert depictions of Asian stereotypes. But sorry, disappearing. Oh, okay. For some reason, my computer and mouse are not working. Okay. My mouse is not really allowing me to have full control. Okay, I am. I just kind of got stuck behind in between the walls and I'm sitting stuck a little bit down. So I'm in this. Okay. I am. Yeah, there's definitely something that is going. Yeah, it might actually be my internet connection. I am kind of moving in a way that is and okay. I might have to. Oh, I'm gone now. Okay. Okay, this is. um. Okay, I might need. Uh. 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 I'm not even moving anything. I mean, I should just sign up. I can't even use my mouse. Hello. Oh, okay. Sorry. We both having some technical difficulties. My mouse was not really responsive to my movement and really just making me float into the void and having no control. But now I'm back. So yeah, ask me anything. AMA. It's an open conversation. So I decided to have these specific scenes that are animated being animated, and those are specifically from actors that are white actors that are in yellowface, just as a way to showcase how white actors have the privilege and opportunity to have more agency over, you know, their bodies, the ways in which that they are being perceived in white spaces and how they're being represented in media. So for a lot of the, you know, roles that are actually cast by Asian people, they are clearly more often than not roles that really don't allow them to have agency and are just the few